What up, gamers? It's your boy King Threats back once again with another video. Listen. Today we're gonna go over Digital Foundry's video of DLSS5 and how it looks, but not just how it looks. It's just the things that didn't analyze at all. And they didn't have their tools to analyze it, and maybe they were too excited to kind of see the flaws of this AI upscaler. Plenty of gamers do not want their games to look like a fucking AI slot, but I guess they feel that gamers want this. But it's not even just that. It's that there are flaws around this thing that they should have put in a lot more concern over. Instead, they were too giddy and too happy. And it's just like, bro, like, this is technology that people didn't ask for. And sure, it might help developers who make ugly games make them pretty, but at the end of the day, it's not really it's like not the character models look better, but they look AI, but everything else looks kind of washed or flat. Like, let's just get to it, bro. I don't want to let's get into it and see what I'm talking about.
Hello there and welcome to a DF Direct special. We are at GTC at San Jose in America, and we have just seen DLSS5, and I think it's fair to say that it's one of the most surprising, potentially disruptive, transformative, next generation technologies we've seen. Essentially, machine learning is being brought to lighting.
Lighting. This isn't lighting, bro. This is full on paint over. This is AI paint over face, add new assets to face on the fly type shit. This isn't lighting, bro. Why are we pretending, bro? Like, I know that y'all know gamers don't want AI over their games like this, because all y'all gonna do is charge gamers for AI over their games like this. Even though it's software, shouldn't cost anything. Well, maybe it should cost something, but I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna charge an arm and a leg and force people to buy hardware to even make this software do what it does in the first place. But it ain't lighting. Let's not pretend. Like you gonna tell me that this is lighting? I mean, look at this. Let's start from the top of her face, okay? Like, we're not even gonna do hair yet. Let's just start at the eyebrows. Look at the eyebrows. You mean to tell me that lighting made her eyebrows fuller, darker, and longer? That's what you're gonna tell me. You're gonna move down to the eyes. Her eyes has that much more puff at the top of the eye. Or are you telling me that her eyes are now bigger because of lighting? Right? You're telling me that she has dark eyeshadow under her eyelid because that's better lighting. You're telling me that, like, the way her eyes are curved, the way her irises sizes are. Listen, you could say that the lighting in the iris is a technology. Sure, I'll take that, right? But you're not gonna fucking tell me that when I move down and I see her nose, that she ain't got a nose job, bro. You're not gonna fucking tell me that the indentation on her top lip ain't redone. You ain't gonna tell me that the laugh lines on her face ain't, like, now there. You're not gonna sit there and tell me that she didn't get collagen implants in her lips. You're not gonna tell me that, bro. You're not gonna tell me that that's lighting that changed all this, because lighting will not change all of this. It won't. So, like, why are y'all saying lighting when they don't look alike at all? This isn't a lighting change because the character model wouldn't change. Y'all not digital foundering right, bruh. You're not. I mean, check her hair out, bro. You telling me that this is just lighting? Like, what lighting? Like, what? It's a rainy day, right? And she bright as shit. It's a rainy day, but not even just that. It's just that. Why is her hair dark now? Like, why does she have darker hair, bro? Like, why is her roots dark? Like, why is that happening? Why is now her eyebrows black and not the same color as her hair or close to the color of her hair? Like, what? How is lighting making these decisions, huh? About her hair color, right? That's color. That's not. See, this thing has an issue with hair color. It does, and it's because it's AI. They're pretending that it's lighting. They are redesigning these models with AI, and this, the one they're most impressed about, is the biggest stark difference on it, because that hair is dark. That hair is like it used to be blonde and it grew out a little bit. Like that's then her eyebrow color went dark. Like you can't. That's not lighting, bro. Like color hair doesn't react like this, especially where the light source is coming from, which you can't even really tell where. Like the light source is coming from every single different direction. I don't think y'all see what I see, do y'all? And it's all the way down to her earlobes. Where is the light coming from to where her earlobes are illuminated? Huh? She got a new earring and that's glistening off of something? Like how many suns are there now currently? And it's a cloudy day. It's a cloudy day. But more on that later. But Jesus, even the ears look off. Look, I'm not saying that the ears don't look better. It looked better. But because it's AI. And so, like, while running, we're going to see how this look. Notice, they haven't done any action scenes, bro. They haven't done any fast movement, nothing, right? There's a reason for that. For sure, gotta be, right? It's going to be some issues in this regardless. And they're going to want people to pay thousands of dollars for this. That's why it's weird. It's going to be thousands of dollars for this. Look at them earlobes. That's $1,000 earlobes you're looking at. You see, these are regular earlobes for the regular price, right? And you got the hair that pulls back around and behind the earlobe with some hair going over the actual ear and down, right? That's the normal price for you normies. You get normal prices. Okay, you don't get no special treatment. The lighting ain't there, right? It's all the same type, color, palette, status, no darkness, but the earlobe is there, right? With the hair pulled back. Pay attention to how the hair is pulled back and around the top of the ear, and then some is hanging over the actual ear. Whereas for the low price of an extra $2,000 or $3,000, you can have lighting, right? Lighting make that same hair now grow from the inside of the ear and then out, because it's not AI generated, right? This is lighting, and we couldn't see that in the other picture. We couldn't see hair growing from inside of the ear and then out of it. We that's lighting, right? We're stupid. We couldn't see that detail due to lighting. Okay, well, it's not because AI don't fully know how to do shit correctly. No. This is lighting, huh, Digital Foundry? I know. You're right. We're wrong.
The attempt being to bring photorealism to the games of today and indeed tomorrow.
Not only did AI give her a new eye color, what it also did was it, like with the facial expressions, it sort of created this pop in and out of shadows in her face that makes it look awfully AI. Like watch, pop, you see it? It's gonna pop again. Look, pop, you see it? Like it pops in and out, you know what I'm saying, of her face. I mean, it gives it a look, but it also gives it an AI look because it doesn't look right. And then you got this guy whose lighting gets a downgrade. See that gray streak disappear from the side of his head? Like it's just, so some details are lost in trying to make the character that's directly in the face look better, but they take away things from the things in the background where it does still look, I mean, it's Starfield. It's not hard for anything to look better, but it's just, I don't know. It has an AI look in total. Yeah, but she's looking taggable now. I mean, look at this. Where'd all the new lighting come from? Huh? Like it's dark here because it's supposed to be dark. It's not that much light, but then like the light sources are weird, and then the lighting don't make sense. Like and they look all the same, right? Like she looks like she's in the same light source as from when these two got their light source. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the light sources are the same when they switch it over, when it shouldn't be that way. I mean, for example, it's brighter, right? But then like these lights don't get brighter, only the little 4 small ones, and they don't even look like it's that. But it's like, see those 2 long lights? They don't get brighter, they just get light around them, you know? But these are supposed to be the light source. It's sort of like the light is coming from the ground, like the bottom right of the screen, and it's shining upwards or something. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's not making everything that light up should light up. It's supposed to be an enhancement in lighting, is what they say. And it's just like, I don't see too many enhancements in lighting. I see enhancements in contrast and shit like that, and of course adding textures and features to faces.
This is probably the most impressive by quite a lot game demo I've seen in my time at Digital Foundry, so I think it's definitely worth discussing here today.
That's another thing. Digital Foundry is usually picky as hell. They're usually picky as, especially when it comes to fake stuff. Like AI in gaming is 100% fake. I remember them criticizing games because they had fake HDR. I remember them criticizing games for having fake 4K. But this is amazing, right? Fake textures, lighting, and everything else. Fake, 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 and it's all good. But you fake HDR, you fake 4K, you bad. You fake frame rates and you fake textures and lighting. You're good as long as it's AI based. It's so inconsistent, but they've always been inconsistent, man. Like my other videos on my old channel that got deleted, man, that exposed the hell out of these fools, and they still sort of act the same way. It's like whoever gives them money or gives them grace to talk about something exclusively on their channel, they'll take it and run with it and not look at anything bad. But let it be anybody else. Let it be anybody else. I've seen them criticize Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo for lighting, for textures, for fake anything. They had something negative to say. But no, not with PC. No, we're accepting the fake frame rates for a high cost. We're accepting the fake AI for whatever this is going to cost. Like, it's just like nobody wants this in their games. Why would you want this on your PCs? Digital Foundry? That don't even make sense. Why would you want fake shit on your PCs? Why would you want them to trick your PC into believing something, or trick your PC into seeing frames per second, or act like this is fucking lighting when it's clearly AI slop? Clearly. It's not even like, it's clear AI slop. It's not like, oh, you gotta look closer at it. You can look at it from the exact view. It looks like every single piece of AI slop out there on Twitter today.
It's a very special technology showcase, I would say.
Yeah, I think we should kick off with what is DLSS5. Well, how do you describe it, Oliver? I mean, it is basically an attempt to, well, you know, traditionally you would see like an increase in hardware technology performance that would enable new lighting techniques. But I think what NVIDIA are essentially trying to do is kind of like bypass all of that, taking us like a generation or two beyond lighting as it's seen today, and it's done entirely through machine learning with a new form of DLSS that is complementary to the existing ones, frame generation and super resolution. So yeah, it's basically like a new string to the bow of DLSS. But you know,
I really don't like when they make examples using off-screen images that they've recorded from a phone or camera, like onto a TV instead of cutting it raw, like some of the other footage that they have on here. But let's make it work. All right, so here's an example of DLSS5 when it's on, right? And we're going environmental, right? Where I think one of the biggest weaknesses of this thing is, right? It's environmental, looks nice, then it goes into off, and it still looks nice, but something looks different. And what it is it looks less flat. Like you can kind of see the background. You can see the trees are closer and the background is further in the distance, and it has a fog to the background. It's more clear up close, fog to the background. That's what you see in real life. But when they turn it back on, it looks closer. Like everything looks bunched together. It looks slightly flatter because it removed some of the fog and it made things brighter. Like this thing is just making stuff brighter, but at the same time adding textures when it's a face. When it's an environment, it makes things brighter and darker. And it has some sort of how do you say it? Like it's like a telescope type of look, to where the edges around it is darker than the middle. It's like it's forcing you to focus somewhere. You know what I mean? Like look, you can see it real good on older games, like when they showed was it Skyrim or one of those trash ass Bethesda games. So this is what DLSS off, right? And you can see that it has its darks and all that stuff, and it looks decent, right? They turn it on and the background looks better. Not the mountains and trees that look worse, but if you that telescope looking pinhole shadow that it has going around it. Notice when he moves up, the shadow follows it. It makes you want to focus in the middle purposely, it seems. Even when it turns, like the side of it gets darker, like it still stays dark and then it lights up. It's like you're looking through a microscope or something, or a telescope or something, to where, you know, it's like a dark rim around the outside of it, like a circular kind of motion. You know what I mean? And it stays that way no matter how they move the camera. And you see how it's popping in the shadows. Whereas now it's on the old mode, you don't see that. Because where it's dark, and where it's light. Like light and darkness don't change when you move and get closer and all that in real life. And this old game recognizes that. And so there isn't no pinhole view of it. It's light where it's supposed to be light and dark where it's supposed to be dark. Whereas the AI, you see, it makes this pinhole darkness, and it maintains that corner. Like, look at the left, look at the bottom right corner. You can see it just continuously being dark, and it has this pinhole shape. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, that's how it looks. And I don't know if it's for rendering purposes. I don't know what it's for. I'm just saying that it looks good. Like, I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm just saying that you see where the flaws are, and they're not pointing these flaws out. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't Digital Foundry the guys who like to, nitpick 2 and 3 frames per second when it's on console, but ignore a million frames being dropped on PC? It's just weird to me.
I think our first point of contact was this particular image of Resident Evil Requiem, where we saw this sequence here. So that's the original past-facing version that you're seeing there, and then kind of like the DLSS5 take on it. Oliver, what do you think of this? Because this is like quite extraordinary. We honestly, when we saw this for the first time, we didn't know actually what DLSS5 was.
Yeah, this just blew me away. So basically you have Grace there in this scene. This is kind of a very famous scene from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And obviously the path traced render has a great lighting detail, but then they swap over to DLSS5. The first thing that I think sticks out to anyone here is the fidelity and realism in Grace's face. And it's almost like we've integrated a grab bag of graphical techniques here in one fell swoop. Grace's skin has a much more convincing specular response with quickly diffused specular highlights. Her hair is lit more realistically as strands closer to her scalp are occluded more heavily. Her eyes now have perfect specular highlights, and they appear much more realistic and lifelike, I would say. And when you're looking at things like the specular response in her jacket, those things are much more true to life as well. I would say the lighting in the background is also considerably enhanced, especially when you look at elements like this lamp post here. Where in the DLSS5 view, it looks much more convincingly reflective, like a real lamppost would behave in wet weather conditions.
Clearly, this man has never been outside when it's raining, because that's not how it looks with the DLSS5 on when shit's wet and shit. Like, the off version looks wet, bruh. Like, I don't understand. The DLSS5 looks way brighter. It shouldn't be this bright on a rainy day. It's supposed to be raining right now. People have umbrellas out, and it looks like it's just a gloomy day. It doesn't look like it's raining. Like, the whole thing looks too bright. You don't believe me? Listen. Okay, first let's look at the poll. One looks like a wet day, one looks like a gloomy day. One looks like it's raining, one looks like it's not raining, bro. Like, this is just how it looks. This is what it looks like with it on, bro. And it's so bright. It's so bright, and it doesn't fit the mood of what's actually going on in the game. And that's what AI loses, because it's not thinking about the mood of the game. It's thinking about what shadow it thinks needs to go where. And again, there's light sources like everywhere. It just made to make it look better, but not make it look like it's part of the scene. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not doing what it's supposed to do in a way to where it's like fitting the mood. So things are going to stark you and hit you. Like, oh, that looks better. And it does look better, but it looks AI. And there's reasons why it looks AI is because it's out of place. There's no mood in a game that's supposed to have a mood. So these moody games, like, you can make the face as pretty as you want to make it. Game's already beautiful. Don't even need an upgrade. But it's like with this technique, it removes the mood just to try and alter and make things look better in the eyes of the AI, and not the actual person who put this together to set a mood and tone for the game. And so flaws start to happen like this right here, to where it's so washed out right here, with this mode, and you won't recognize it, or you will, or you won't, or whatever. because it's all focused on putting all the fidelity and lighting or whatever the fuck thing that they're doing to make it look AI. And focusing on that. And they want you to focus on that. You know what I mean? And so it takes away from parts of the game and makes it look bad in comparison to what it used to look like. And as you can see here, it's dark. You can't see under the car because you shouldn't be able to see under the car. There isn't no fucking pale white light or pale blue light for no reason flashing up under the car. Like ray tracing is supposed to be great simply because things that show shadows should show shadows. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't showing shadows. And I'm noticing that this demo, it was taking away shadows. It was washing shadows out and adding shadows, or it would do a contrast on the shadow. And some of it looks better, but most of it looks worse, especially when you are looking for actual shadows that items are supposed to depict. There's a good example of that I'll cover later in the video when they cover it. I think it's Assassin's Creed Shadows. So we'll check that out.
I think the kind of apparent aesthetic changes to Grace's face here will perhaps be most controversial, but throughout the other demos that we saw and the other shots that we saw in these games, I wasn't seeing nearly as much of a difference in terms of that DLSS5 view of the character relative to a ray traced or path traced view of the same character.
Yeah, I think the important thing to point out, though, is that it's not actually replacing assets as such. So geometry, I think that's quite remarkable because the geometry looks different on that Grace shot, but it's not. It's the same geometry. It's the same texture assets. It's simply going through a different form of lighting that, from NVIDIA's perspective, is kind of like next generation and transformative. And
stop lying. You can literally look at this instantly and see that it's not lighting that's the difference. Like, there is a difference in lighting, don't get me wrong, but lighting isn't the only difference here. Like, it's just clear. I don't know why they need to lie about this. Rather it's NVIDIA lying to you about it, but you not catching it, or you catching it and just want to lie about it too because you don't want to get on their bad side or whatever's going on. I don't know, but at the end of the day, no, it's not lighting, bro. Stop saying it's lighting.
When you first see that shot, it's quite difficult to argue with that. I mean, you know, when you flick between the two, which one would you rather play? It's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it?
No, it's not a bit of a no-brainer, bro. Like, I've seen PC players reduce resolutions down to 1080p, 720p, whatever they can do to get performance. And if this could look fantastic. If it's running at 30 frames per second, people won't play it, especially PC players, especially elitist PC players. This looks nice. If you want to accept how this looks, it looks nice. To me, it looks like AI shit. To me, I haven't seen any movement or any action or any explosions or gunfights or nothing. We just seen stills, and this is supposed to come out this year. Not stills, but like just very lax, stuff, which makes me think that frame rate is an issue, right? Or even it keeping up with this. Maybe things change. We don't know. You can show us this little tidbit here and say it's a bit of a no-brainer, but no, it's actually a brainer, bro, because we don't know how it runs. We don't know what it's running on. We don't know how to get to this point. Let's see if they talk about that. But if they do, I hope it's not like crazy stuff that you need to do in order to get this type of result.
What's quite interesting about this is NVIDIA's stated intention for the technology. They're kind of like looking at this as almost kind of like trying to anticipate the original fully realized vision of the game developers here. This demo is actually quite interesting in terms of its technical makeup, in that it's using an RTX 5090 to run the path-trace version of Resident Evil, but there's a second 5090 that's actually doing the DLSS5 pass there.
Wait. So there's two 5090s. So you looking at $5,000 to $6,000 on just chips to get the results that you just saw, and you didn't even, or they didn't even show gameplay. They just showed like you in a situation. They didn't show no action, no fighting, no shooting, nothing that stresses it. But clearly, if you need two 5090s to get this result, and they tested with two 5090s, they went and showed it off and needed two 5090s. There's a problem if you got to use one. Nobody's going to buy two 5090s. That means it's going to be less than the 1% of PC players who buy 5090s, who own the 5090. It's going to be even less to have two of them that's going to use two of them for a handful of games. That don't even make sense. Like I don't, and they still, like honest, like art, like NVIDIA loves to show off frame rates, and they didn't show anything about frame rates on this. They didn't show anything moving. They didn't show anything going. They didn't show nothing, right? They just showed people standing still in the world. That's what they showed, or talking, standing still in the world. That's it. They showed nothing, and that lets me know that there's something wrong with the frame rate. And then on top of that, you got 25090, so fucking guaranteed that there is something wrong with the frame rates, bro. There's something wrong with the fucking frame rates. I don't care what nobody says. There is something wrong with the frame rate, and that's ridiculous. So it's like how is it a no-brainer to want to play this or play in that way, in this mode, and how it looks, if it takes two fucking 5090s to get there? No, that's not a no-brainer. You're looking at a $10,000 PC. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's weird. That's crazy to play old games. By the time this stuff comes out, Resident Evil 9 finna be old. It's coming out in September or somewhere? Like, this finna be old. It's gonna be a beta come out next month. But unless you got two 5090s, unless you got two 5090s gonna get it to look like that, I guarantee you they're gonna make it work on one 5090, and it's not gonna look like that. And it's not gonna play like that. And it's not gonna play good. Clearly, because you needed two 5090s just to show people. Steals. The camera just sat there and people just walking around. There ain't no fucking action. There ain't no fighting. There ain't no nothing. Man, that's crazy.
But the intention is, this is a very early demo. They keep calling it like a snapshot of current development for the model. Right. Yeah. So they're expecting changes, they're expecting improvements, but crucially, they're expecting to be able to do this on one GPU.
What do you mean expecting? Why is there a back door to this? Because it doesn't make sense for you to have to use two GPUs. What do you mean expecting? No, it will be, right? Like when it's all said and done. And if it's it's going to have to be a 5090. Like, they needed two to do this. Two. To stand still, bruh. You mean to tell me in the next few months they're going to have this fixed up and running so you can have it on one and it look like this? Man, anybody thinking that it's going to run like this is crazy. One like this on a 5090, most of y'all who are on Twitter, YouTube, all y'all don't got a 5090. You don't got it. You can go ahead and say, oh, this looks good. No, cool. If you want to accept the slop, you accept it. But don't sit there and pretend that you can run it, because you're not going to be able to run it. And the people who can run it ain't going to want to play it, because more than likely it's going to be under 60 frames per second. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely ain't going to look like this if they got to tweak and modify it to make it run. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just... oh, that's so ridiculous. That's the killer of the whole thing. You could like it or love it or hate it. It don't matter. At the end of the day, if it costs so much just to get it to look like this, and you still don't have a frame rate counter next to it like NVIDIA does with every fucking video thing that they fucking do, they want to talk about frame rates and shit. Now all of a sudden they don't want to talk about frame rates, but they want to show you some AI fucking slop over a goddamn face. And then tell your ass you need two 5090s for it. That shit's upsetting. Nigga, the fuck this nigga talking about? It's a no-brainer.
In fact, they are doing it on one GPU in their labs right now. But in terms of getting like full speed performance for the demo, they wanted to actually run it on a second one.
Yeah, it's exactly like I said. So they have it running on one GPU in the lab. Right? One GPU, the one they're not going to show you. No, in order to make it run at a set frame rate, which they still haven't said what was, right? Clearly it wasn't. It was looking choppy, and some of them I'll even point it out. You needed two 5090s. you needed two 5090, two $3,000 damn chips. You needed two of those just to stand still. Do you understand? Like, it's funny. That is so fucking funny to me, bruh. That don't even make sense. That's funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, to stand still, though? Like, you need to, man, bruh. This shit, bruh, watch. Okay. Hey. For any of y'all looking forward to it, I hope, get two 5090s if you want it to look like that. Otherwise, you don't get 150/90. It's gonna run at 5 frames per second, some bullshit like that, and it's gonna be nothing to show off. You're gonna show off still pictures, just like they're doing right here. Oh, look how this looks. All right, move around and get into a fight. Nah, I don't feel like it. My mouse is broken. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just not gonna play a game. Who wants to play a game that's at fucking sub 30 somewhere, bro? Like, what the who? Why? You can't even see their faces. Man, when you running around this motherfucker, you are seeing the backside of these people. If it's a first-person game, you're not even seeing your character. You're seeing other characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you really seeing, bro? Like the environment is already like we're in the environment that look nice, but you can already make the environment look nice. Fuck, the environments already look nice in Resident Evil. Already look fantastic. You gonna pay thousands of dollars more for some AI push in the middle of the screen and nowhere else? Like, yeah, it's up to y'all. Y'all PC dudes like different things. Maybe this is a turn on for y'all. I think they're gonna start charging a subscription service to make the AI perform differently and have different results on your fucking AI, and you pay a fucking subscription service. That's what the fuck I think they're about to do. But that's just me. That's just me. I guess more on that later in a few years when this happens, and y'all, give me my motherfucking flowers like you did with Xbox.
But they're looking to continually optimize.
Yeah, and they did say that they do have it running, like you said, on one GPU, and they basically made it clear that the VRAM requirements at this stage aren't so steep.
Right.
It couldn't run on a single consumer GeForce GPU, so presumably like a 5090 GPU. Right. They were running in this demo with two 5090s, but that's obviously not the intent. They want to ship it. They intend to ship it on single GPU systems when this launches in fall of 2026.
Fall of 2026 is in like 6 months. Like, you telling me they're gonna have this ready in 6 months, talking about we intend to. Like, they always say this, we intend to, they intend to ship it, they have to use one. Like, that don't sound too confident to me. You know what I'm saying? You got 6 months to get it done, and it don't sound like you too confident to get it done, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But again, listen, like I said, this is for y'all PC dudes. You know what I'm saying? This is what y'all like, this is what y'all want to do. I would be damned if I would never turn on PSSR or no shit like that if it made my frame rate drop below 30. I just wouldn't use it. I would just, keep it at 60 and call it a day, bro. If that's what I had, I'll go with ray tracing. I'm fine with that. This is beyond ray tracing. This is straight up fake paint over a game, and that's running procedurally, and you need two fucking like I said, this is a choice for y'all PC dudes. I'm just saying, Digital Foundry is sitting here lying through their fucking teeth about what they see. They've been analyzing games and analyzing footage for I don't know how long for them to not catch half of the shit that's going on and then pretend that they will be able to run this with less than two fucking 5090s. Not thinking like, damn, why not two 4070s? Why not one 5090 and one 5070 or whatever the fuck? Like, why is it, is it going to be the super GPUs that run this? I mean, me and Jess was talking about this earlier today. Was it that? Is it maybe is they waiting for the super versions of these GPUs to come out? Or I don't know, but I do know that this looks like it takes far too much to give you far too little. And that's what PC gaming that's what's been happening in PC gaming. NVIDIA have been smacking y'all across the face for I don't know how long. Off of stuff like this. They've been smacking y'all across the face for I don't know how long, straight up charging you, overcharge you for the 5090, which didn't even have a big boost in power technically on the physical level, and it used AI already to boost it. Now all of a sudden they need two of them to double the AI to make AI look like AI slopping your game, and y'all supposed to be happy about that? They can't even do fake frames over this, it seemed like. Because if they could, that's what the fuck they would have done in the first place and not use two GPUs. They would have shown it at 60. It's clearly not at 60. Clearly not at 120. If it was, they would say it. If it was, they would say it. Clearly it's not at a lock 60. Clearly. And look what they're showing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just... let's keep going.
Yeah, which isn't so far away.
No, it's not so far away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think maybe if we look at some of the other demos here, I think Starfield is a really interesting one because the base imagery, of course, is not rate-faced, not path-faced. And yet we're still seeing transformative changes here, particularly in terms of character rendering, which is an area where Starfield received quite a lot of criticism. But again, the effect is quite remarkable here.
See, he didn't lie. He didn't call himself in his own lie. He didn't stepped on his own lie, bro. Like he's saying, oh, the background didn't change much, but the character models, oh my God, that's stark. Well, I thought it was lighting, bro. I thought it was just lighting, right? I thought it was just lighting, bro. But so like if the character model is changing due to lighting, then the lighting should be totally different in the background. No, right? No, yes, no. Like that's what I don't like. They pretending that this ain't AI paint over somebody else's work. They're acting like this isn't AI paint over somebody else's work. That's what they're acting like. And it is. That's what it is. That's what's upsetting about the shit. And people don't want AI slop in their games. And if you do, listen, if you do want it, again, I'm not a PC guy. Buy it. Buy it all day, bro. I'll stand by you. I'll subscribe. I don't mind. It's not an argument of whether or not this looks good or bad, because that's going to be a perspective thing anyway. It's going to be something that's subjective to what you believe, right? I wouldn't want this in my game for simple fact that I don't like how AI looks. You know what I'm saying? It looks real, but not real. You can tell it's AI, and I don't want to sit there and tell that my game is AI. I just want to play the game as intended. That's it. And if they start making games with this intended, then it's just going to make it worse for gamers, because the base game is going to look like trash, and then we're going to have to depend on AI shit to make the game look better. And I'm telling you, that's when subscriptions going to come in, or already be in, and it's going to be more prominent to make you fucking jump on a subscription that probably costs way too much more than what it needs to. It's just another way to charge us for minimal shit. It's because PC hit a wall. They can't, you know what I'm saying? They can't keep giving you more frame rates. Oh, it's 400 frames per second now. You can't see past 60 in the clinical and in my beliefs. But y'all say, oh, it's 120. Whatever, bro. They're past 120. They're giving you fake frames right now. Now they're giving you fake fucking fidelity too. You know what I'm saying? Like, just giving you fake on top of fake, but charge you a fucking premium over premium to get this fake shit. That's software. They can easily they don't got to replicate it. It's not costing them a lot of money to sit there and manufacture the parts. No, they don't got to manufacture and buy extra parts. They have it on software. They just copy it and put it on a goddamn, bruh. I swear to God, bro, this shit crazy to me, but it's still, like, it's just the lies. That's the main thing. I don't like when Digital Foundry lies or ignores things that should be concerning them, especially when it comes to PC shit. But when it comes to everything else, they nitpick it. Oh, it dropped one frame here. Like, oh shit, you pointed out one frame here, but don't point out the 30, 40, 50, 60 frames that dropped on the PC version just because it was running at 120. I thought you could see 120. You know what I'm saying? If you could see the frame rates in 120, then you can see the drops. But you can't see the drops because you can't fucking see it. But still, they don't say anything about it, even though it drops 30, 40, 50 frames. You can't see one frame fucking drop in the game. But they point it out for the consoles. Fake HDR, fake 4K. They point all this shit out, bro. When it comes to PC, it's like they just accept whatever fake bullshit they give them.
Yeah, and I found this very interesting. So we saw this through a variety of games that basically, they really do intend for that base render that's going into this, the base color, the base motion vectors, the base render, to be as high quality as possible. Starfield obviously has some issues with its lighting. It's not ray traced, it tends to look very flat. And I thought DLSS5 did a fantastic job enhancing details and enhancing that lighting presentation in a way that I didn't really think was possible, because all of a sudden you've got this game that otherwise looks very flat, otherwise has a kind of last generation appearance in some respects. And all of a sudden it kind of looks like a path traced game.
The fuck it do. Like, you can't even tell when the background changes with this one, because the background don't change that much. Watch. You're going to see his face. You see it. They're not going to do the line. They're just going to switch it on. Right? And you're not going to be able to tell. Look, the background didn't change much at fucking all, bro. So how is it all of a sudden looking like a path traced game? It doesn't. You guys just keep trying to push on it's the lighting that's making the change difference. And it's not the lighting, bro. It's not. In fact, it's removing shadows. You can see it in this character right here. When they go in between off, you see a shadow that goes over his face from the bill of his hat. And that shadow from the bill of his hat goes away. It's like the light then changed, or the sun position has changed. And that also goes into a thought of, okay, so what's going on with procedurally generated lighting then, to where the sun goes up and down in this different angles? Will they change? See how much light, how much shadows just disappeared off his body? You know what I'm saying? Like, so where's the sun right now? Like how are all the shadows now gone? You see what I'm saying? Like, it just looks weird like that because it doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing goes with the environments. Like, this is what it's on, right? And all the shadows look better. They do. They look better, but there's some that, like, it gets kind of funny and wonky. You know what I'm saying? Like, because these shadows are still there on when it's off. It's just darker. Like, the shadows are darker. See, shadows are darker and more prominent, and it makes it look like it's that time of day to where the sun is going down, and it's like that type of day. You know what I'm saying? With it on, you can't really tell what time of day it is. It takes away a part of the personality of the situation that you were in. Even if this is procedurally generated, it's like that because it's going to be different times of day. Like, this is supposed to be the same scene, and it's looked like they're switching in between evening and morning. That's what it looks like. It looks like sunrise and sunset. And that's not the correct way that this game is supposed to depict what time of day it is. Are you going to be able to tell what time of day it is? It's just like they all look the same in the environment. They all look like it's fucking light outside, lighter than what it should be, right? In Resident Evil, it was raining. It looked like it was a gloomy day. It didn't even look like it was raining. And this looks like, right now, it looked like motherfucking sunset because it's off and it's sunset in the game. And then when they turn it on, it turns on and it looks like fucking daytime, like morning, like dusk. You feel me? Like, you can't tell me you're not seeing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at it. Now it's like bluer. So it's like dusk or damn near the afternoon. You feel me? And it's like a hot day. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole dynamic and feeling of the environment changed just with this shit on. It's not making it look like path tracing or anything like that. It's looking like a different time of fucking day. And so it's going to ruin the mood of what time of day it's supposed to be. If it's nighttime and it's supposed to look like it's nighttime and it's not nighttime, it's fucking daytime or whatever, it's going to ruin the mood. And that's what it did to Resident Evil. Just looking at Resident Evil, it didn't have the mood of a rainy, wet, damp day, a cold day. It looked like a warm, gloomy day. And this looks like a hot day. You know what I mean? Like, it just, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
But there are still some issues though, like you can note screen space errors in certain games where like you have screen space reflections or screen space ambient occlusion, and those things are breaking up in the DLSS5 image. So it's not like it's perfectly understanding and reconstructing all characteristics of light. It's still depending on the base render, but it's super impressive to see a game like Starfield, to see this character's jacket, for instance, all the specular highlights cast in a much more realistic light, the material properties along her clothing there, and indeed in her face, this colossal increase in lighting fidelity, where all of a sudden you're seeing proper subsurface scattering, her eyes are properly self-shadowing in there, and her mouth is also shadowing her teeth correctly, and all these other characteristics that they pointed out to us that you don't really think about in the context of real-time rendering because you're so used to a lower quality image than what, you know, high-end CG could provide.
Man, stop it. Like I said, they lying for these people because it's like, bro, I think that the reason why shit is so bright is because they're trying to hide the fact that the character models are going to be bright, because every character model had light sources from every angle to make it look the best, most real that it can look, right? That's what AI does. That's what happens in AI. They set up the best lighting, the best angle, the best everything to make something look the best that it can look in that situation, to where this light just comes from nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like right here, she's every fucking angle, she's bright. And I bet you go out, I bet you at nighttime, they fucking brighten this shit up to make it look like it's nighttime with them or whatever. And they darken a little bit, but still have bright bits that are too bright. That's like moonlight ain't fucking shining that bright on you. You don't have a flashlight following you everywhere. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that it look, I mean, I know it sounds like I'm fucking saying that it looks bad. I'm just saying that I don't like these people lying. I don't like people who's supposed to analyze, not analyze. Just not see the basics. Like, you can just see it. It's in your face. You know? Would you like to play? I would rather play this mode. What the fuck you mean? You need 25090s. You still talking about it? Like, you knew it was 25090s running before you said that and made this video. Fuck you mean you'd rather play that? Like, I would rather not have to use $6,000 worth of fucking chips just to add to my already $3,000 PC or something. You know what I'm saying? To make this run. Like, it sounds stupid. RAM already costs too much. Now, in order to make shit look like AI slop, they expect people to buy another fucking card. And if they, like I said, if it's just one, then it ain't gonna look like this. So why are you showing me this? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's crazy. I know for a fact that the end results ain't gonna look like this. The end results, unless it's two cards, or unless they come up with some fucking miracle, shit ain't finna look like this, bruh. It's not. And if it looks like this, it's guaranteed not to run good. You guaranteed, nigga, below 60 frames, bro. And if you can accept that, paying all that extra money, then you do that, bro. They gonna get fake frames ain't even gonna be able to say this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I just don't like them lying. Regardless, this is a PC problem, ain't my problem. It ain't even a PC problem. If you don't gotta buy it, if you don't want it when it comes out, I don't even know if you're gonna be for sale. It might be free. You just might need to buy some new cards, and that's how they're gonna sell their new cards. This is their exclusive, right? Y'all don't like exclusives at all, but this is y'all exclusive. This is exclusively for y'all niggas. And y'all could go ahead and pay for this if you want. But at the end of the day, I just don't like Digital Foundry bullshit and blatantly lying over this fucking tech. You know, that's clearly not ready to ship. But apparently they want to hurry up and ship it. And they're only shipping it because they want to show off AI to all these other companies that are making fucking them use their chips to send to RAM fucking companies anyway, dog. Like, they just want to show off their AI fucking chops. And you're paying for it both in RAM and apparently in trying to get this shit to fucking run.
Let's talk about Oblivion Remastered.
Nigga, they are really pushing this on old ass games. They are really pushing this on old. That's how you know, man. I'm telling you, that's how you know it's an issue. I mean, look, they showed Resident Evil standing still. They showed a lot of this. They showed Assassin's Creed Shadows standing still off camera. They showed a lot of this, though. A lot of Starfield, a lot of that fucking old ass engine, bruh. Like, they just showed a lot of that. And I'm just saying that these are warning signs, bro. These are warning signs. How's it gonna play Grand Theft Auto when it finally comes to fucking PC? You know, how's it gonna play them big, giant, demanding ass fucking games? How is it gonna play? Are you gonna use this in CS:GO? I mean, that's what really they should be showing in CS:GO. Are you gonna be able to use it in CS:GO? That's what everybody play over there. Shit, Call of Duty, Battlefield, something popular, something big and popular. I guess I don't know how popular this is on PC. It might be popular as hell. I don't know. It might. It might be the next coming. I don't know how popular Oblivion still is on PC. I believe that it probably is, but the people who play Oblivion are people who have PCs that aren't really that strong. You're asking everybody to upgrade into the 50 series somewhere. Like, guaranteed, have to have the 50 series. All y'all dudes with 40 series might as well not even look at this. 40 series ain't got AI built in it like it do, like the 50 series do. And I don't even know how low or high you can go on the 50 series with this. So it's like, you're asking these people to join the next generation to see this. It's like, man, like, none of this shit is worth it, bro. At the end of the day, none of it's worth it. But like, again, if y'all haven't been willing to move up into a new card forever, and if this makes you do it, and you want to spend some shit, then hey, I hope you enjoy, bro. I hope you enjoy every single penny. If you love it, it was worth it. I guarantee it, bro. If you love it, it was worth it. But it's just so many different reasons why you shouldn't have to move up for something like this. This is straight up AI slop, and it's crazy.
Quite an interesting showcase of what happens when you introduce DLSS5 to an Unreal Engine 5 title. Software Lumen now is like radically transformed into something quite different. Character rendering again gets a gigantic revamp, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
you've never seen elves look this realistic. It's crazy.
That's the bottom line. Yeah.
Yeah, the character models, you've never seen an elf look like that. You're right. Especially with only lighting upgrades, right? Digital Foundry, like, it just, it's like more and more like proof that they even know what they're saying is not true. They even know that they're saying, oh, it's only lighting. It's not. No, it's AI. But that's been proven already. So let's continue.
Also, it's really interesting to see the kind of, the occlusion that's happening on all of the brickwork, on all of the sort of castle-like structures there. It really is quite extraordinary to see it in motion and to sort of flip between the two there. You know, windows that look completely flat and opaque now actually seem to look properly correct. Yeah, it's just quite extraordinary.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the old lighting in the game I thought generally looked quite handsome. Like, I'm not opposed to Lumen, and obviously Lumen takes some shortcuts, but here you're really just seeing all that kind of very coarse lighting detail brought out to like a really granular level, where you get really tight shadows all of a sudden underneath awnings, where the light is spilling out over the scene in a much more realistic manner, where you're getting those contact shadows, and it's just a markedly improved presentation.
I don't agree. I don't think that this looks better than when it does when it's off. I don't. I mean, look how dim those shadows are, right? It shouldn't even be that dim, bro. They should be dark shadows right there, bro. Dim shadows would come on things that are smaller and you know what I mean, less profound where the sun is at. And it's like when it goes off, you're gonna see a difference. Like this looks like how it should look in comparison to where the sun is. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you should see dark shadows covering up. Like it should be that dark. When it comes on, it's like all the shadows disappear. They're light as fuck. And it's just like, to me, this looks better than when it's on. And I shouldn't feel that way for something that I'm gonna have to spend for a chip. I'm gonna have to spend more than $3,000 on. Like, look at that. You can see more detail because you took the damn shadows away and made it brighter.
Even they pointed out like some of the character models in the game are a little bit on the simpler side, but they still look a lot better when we put DLSS5 on. I mean, they look a little bit uncanny, I would say, but definitely the overall portrayal of those characters is much more sophisticated.
Yeah. And we also took a quick look at Assassin's Creed.
There ain't enough lighting in the bathroom of a Chevron to fix this man's face, and yet they say lighting is what fixed him. You understand what I'm saying? Lighting is what fixed and put pink lipstick on. You know, because the lighting, we couldn't see the pink lipstick that was added to this character. You know what I'm saying? And look at him when he blinks, bruh. That's haunting. Look at that shit. You telling me that's not AI? Did the lighting make his eyes look fucked up? Huh? Is that what that is? Is it the lighting that's doing that? That's just wrong. Let's look at it again, but in like a closer view. Because if the hair coming out the ear didn't fucking do it for you, and the fucked up lighting didn't do it for you, and the tunnel vision that didn't do it for you, it's gonna be these eyes that do it for you. So let's do a close up and see if it's AI or not. Look at this thing. What the fuck? Bruh. His eyelids got eyes on them. Do you understand? Like, he's like a lizard people or something. Look at that. No, bruh. That's AI.
Assassin's Creed Shadows here, which is quite remarkable in how it's handling environmental lighting and shadow there. It's, you know, it's radically transformed.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a game that is a very handsome title, I would say, in general. It was obviously part of our Graphics of the Year list last year. But when we look at that base render, we see there are some issues with like shadow maps, and maybe the detailing in the foliage lighting is not quite as granular as you'd like. You move over to DLSS5 and all those issues are basically fixed. Like all of a sudden the game looks like it has ray traced shadows, when in fact, of course, we know that it does not. And like the fog is integrated much more nicely into the scene. The overall lighting presentation is just dramatically improved to the point where if you were squinting, or even not really squinting, you could mistake this for an image of a real life forest.
Man, please, who they gaslighting, bro? All they did, this is with it off, right? You can see shadows, and then when they turn it on, all the shadows just disappear. That's what it looks like from this level. And again, where's the sun? Like the sun's shining like it's over them, but then there's light shadows like it's on the side of them. Like how many different light sources are here? There ain't no street lights. There ain't no like LED light buildings or nothing. There's only one light source, and that's the sun, right? This is when it's off, and you see this, the shadows come back, right? Shadows are dark and where they're supposed to be. There ain't no lights. This is feudal Japan, bro. There ain't no lights. But when it turns on, it looks like somebody shut on a kitchen light. You feel me? Like it's just, It's like LED lights now. Like, it doesn't look better. It looks less realistic. It looks flat. It looks like, where are we at? Like, what time of day is this then? Like, why are we turning the shadows down and brightening it up and then saying that it looks better? It don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make it. I know it looks different, but it doesn't make sense at all. And that's all I've been seeing with this entire thing, is that they just remove shadows or light, lessen shadows, and add extra light.
Yeah, they are attempting to bring photorealism to games with this, which I think is quite interesting, but also quite controversial as well, because this is basically today's game engines viewed through the lens of NVIDIA's AI model. And I think it's fair to say that there's going to be a lot of discussion about whether this is the right direction.
Yeah.
A lot of discussion about whether this is actually what the the kind of ultimate intent of the developer actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess find out the hard way, because the people who are going to make that decision is going to be the gamers who buy it or don't buy it. That's just what it's going to be, bro. Like I said, unless it stays an app and it just stays where it is, like ray tracing, like it just stays where it is. But if gamers start an outcry about this and say they don't want this in their games, developers ain't going to put it in their games just to appease NVIDIA. You know what I'm saying? It already costs a lot of money. It's not doing much but selling NVIDIA. That's like the problem with this, is that how is a developer going to benefit from this, right? Rather they got to pay NVIDIA for this, or it's going to be some kind of compensation for using this or doing this. So in order for anybody to experience this, they would have to have a 5090 and then buy the game. So then you're only locking it to PC players. A very, 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 very small amount of PC players. And you're letting NVIDIA alter your art. I don't know. Publishers might be with it because publishers don't care. They just want to make money. And if this makes development cheaper, they'll do it. But I don't see many developers wanting to do this, wanting to allow it to happen or whatever, because it's like, it's really just for people who are willing to spend money to enjoy your game that you weren't talented enough to make look like that. You know what I'm saying? On your own. I just don't, I don't see that. I mean, I see people brag. I see PC dudes bragging about it, and I see PC dudes not bragging about it. That's what I see in the future. That's what I see people, PC dudes like, nah, I don't want my games looking like this. I don't want my games looking like fucking AI slop. AI is what's killing PC. And you're going to have the other guys who probably came from a different platform that are trying to do PC or have a PC channel, but not really PC guys, big up in this, saying that it looked better than everything else on the market and will never buy it or play it because they can't afford it or they just not into it like that before they even see the consequences of having something like this. So no, I don't see it happening too well at all, but hey, it might. I hope not though, but it might. I don't care. I can't even say I hope not. I don't care because it doesn't affect me. You know, as long as they keep making me great games, I really don't fucking care.
And I also think, we were told that the way the technology works is it actually integrates into NVIDIA Streamline.
Right.
So although developers can actually tune DLSS5 lighting, seemingly, to be what they want it to be.
So it's still trying to say it's just lighting, bro. It's not. This is not lighting, dog. If lighting made this big of a difference in how you see a game, they would have been working on lighting a long time ago. Ray tracing would have made their faces all look like fucking Barbie dolls if that was the fucking case. You guys, they really sitting here and acting like it's just lighting. This is why I make this video. This is why, like, honestly, like I said, I don't care about, like, if PC dudes are gonna have this, they can have it. I mean, that's fine. That's pretty. It's, I guess. I don't want no AI shit, but that's just me. If you do, then get it. I don't care. It's not the bother. The bother is these people who analyze sitting there straight up lying, calling it flat out lighting because NVIDIA told them to call it flat out lying because they know that most PC gamers don't want this AI slop bullshit. And then the cost to make this AI slop even work on your fucking games is going to be too much anyways. It's stupid.
There's going to be a lot of DLSS5 mods happening to a lot of games, whether the developers like it or not, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that someone is going to get this in Optiscaler, and
Yes.
it's going to be a bit of a wild ride. But
No, I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. Simply because there's just going to be too little people able to even use those mods. I mean, I believe that they'll go and do mods. I believe PC dudes will mod anything because that's what they do. They like to, tinker. They like to do shit like that. They're not really gamers like that. They're more tinkerers and builders and shit. So yeah, I don't not believe that part. I just don't believe that developers would care because it's not really going to affect sales because this isn't going to sell too many games. And if they do mod it, they ain't gonna give a fuck. It'll get more people to buy the game, I guess, and then I guess buy Nvidia chips. I don't know, but nah, I don't see it hurting too bad.
But yeah, I mean, they even discussed, I spoke with one of the engineers in this project, and he mentioned that you could apply it to games as primitive as Minecraft and get like a Minecraft RTX style appearance.
That's stupid. They did Minecraft ray tracing years ago, 6 years ago to be exact. Why would they need to buy a 5090? You know what? Go on, bruh.
So this does not just apply to AAA games. It does not just apply to high-end graphics. We're already seeing that a little bit with Starfield, which is a more primitive title.
Yeah.
But it really could apply to just about any game that can supply color and motion vectors, I guess.
Yeah.
And obviously that's going to be a matter of controversy. We've already heard that some developers are on board with the technique, that they really like it. They think it enhances their games, brings them up to the visual fidelity that they had imagined in their heads but could not deliver. But obviously this is going to be a work in progress. And I'd also say that perhaps there could be some additional, they mentioned some tuning that might be involved, some exclusions that might be involved in this model in order to get it to a level where developers are comfortable shipping it in their games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it depends on how much it costs versus how much it would cost to develop it on their own, or if it's just worth it for a developer who don't have the talent to make their games look like this. Is it worth buying it, but then being stuck on the 50 series and worrying about how much that costs, and then looking at how many 50 series actually sold? How are you going to even maximize that money? Like if they get that money back, there has to be more than just the 50 series. And if it is, it would have to be small games that's going to get a profit on it, because it take less to sell and because it costs less to make to actually make a profit. I don't see AAA games really going full throttle on it. I think that Nvidia probably paid like Capcom to say, hey, let us do this. Let us show this off in this new tech. Look how your game would look, yada, yada, yada. And they were like, okay, well, okay, you're paying us for it. It ain't going to cost us nothing to fucking develop it. Then yeah, let's run it. But if it's going to cost developers to actually use this tech, then that's going to be another question. And then they're going to have to start looking at how many people actually have the hardware to run this. This is why consoles are more stable than PC, because PC, they have an unstable hardware user base. So, they would never be able to know how much they can actually make. They would never know how much they can actually calculate, or it doesn't make sense because you can make, like, this tech specifically would be for only the high-end player, and that's very little of people who actually play this game. So it's business-wise, it doesn't make sense unless they are able to make this either A, work on older chips, or B, make your chips cheaper. Other than that, it's just for the upper class PC gamer who don't mind spending all this money on little details like this. And that's not a big market. So again, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see how that goes. I'm just giving y'all the business side of the perspective of it too. Like other than calling out these fucking lying ass fools. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot for a company, even a publisher, to want to use this tech if it's locked to just 5090s. It's not like it's just locked to PC. No, it's locked to a chip that people rarely have. So it's what it is.
Yeah, and it is still work in progress, although we are expecting this to be delivered this year, which I still think is like quite a remarkable proposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot.
Bro, I swear, in every single game that they showed, no matter what game it was, they have showed the same exact time of day. I'm telling you now, dog, that shit's bothering me, bro. I just keep seeing afternoon. That's all I see. Every time they turn it on, it's just afternoon or early morning, like dusk. You know what I'm saying? Early morning, cold, dusk, sun not all the way up, but then like the lighting position would make you feel like it's in the fucking afternoon. Like I can't get around that. That's probably bothering me the most. Like the AI thing is already going to bother me. Period. The AI faces, it's already going to look funny because you see it in AI every day, and it's just like that's AI. You can like literally tell what's AI and what's not just by looking at the faces. Like that's AI. But and they're lying about that about the lighting. But still, like even the lighting is like wrong to me. Like I wouldn't invest in a 5090 just to make all my games look like it's in the afternoon. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. I just can't, bro. I can't do it.
Of work still to do on this. The concept that they're using two 5090s effectively to bring this demo to us today and somehow rationalizing that down to one, that's going to be quite an interesting experience, I think.
Yeah, just one 5090 is ambitious enough, but then you got to think about the rest of NVIDIA's stack and the 5070s, the 5070s, 5080s. Could those cards run this? Again, that's kind of an open question at the moment. I think it's probably their intent that those cards could run a version of this.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they'll make different cards run a different version of it. I think version of it, yes. You know what I mean? Not what we just seen right now. Not this impressive shit that we seen right now. We probably get the equivalent of Snake Eye Cuz over there on the other ones, but yeah, I think the other 50 series cards might get it. I mean, it almost has to. And like I said, they might come out with the super or whatever to help with it or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not going to look like what we see here. And what we see here, when you actually start looking at it, ain't that impressive, especially when they can't even show you gameplay because it's going to ruin the frames per second, especially when they need two 5090s to run this. Like, imagine if you get one 5070, like one 5040, whatever the fuck other dumbass number they got. Imagine. You know what I'm saying? It's just not happening. It's not going down, bro. It's not. Whatever matter what you want to think or say, it's just not going to look like this. It's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth playing at 30 frames per second at this. You know what I mean? Like, not even at this. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, bro. I don't know what y'all, I mean, there's some people that are hyped for this, and there's some people who are not hyped for it. And, congrats to them. But me, I'm just looking at it for what it is.
And we did hear as well that this should scale. I mean, if the VRAM question can be settled, this should scale reasonably well with output resolution, is what we heard. Yeah. So potentially like this at 4K with two 5090s, maybe it goes down to one 5090, hopefully at 4K for many games. And then perhaps the other cards are capable of it at 1440p or 1080p.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it is a separate component to frame generation and DLSS super resolution. So you kind of like still choose your settings, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I think it's also going to be quite interesting to see how the presentation changes according to the input settings that you choose from the quality menus and whatnot. What does DLSS5's take on ray tracing look like versus path tracing or without ray tracing at all? That's going to be quite interesting as well. But there's just so many questions. I think we're still struggling to kind of process all of this.
It's such a leap in computer graphics. I mean, it's almost getting beyond computer graphics and into neural rendering. You are supplying a game image, you are supplying imagery from a game engine. Granted, it's sophisticated imagery from a game engine, but then you're getting this greatly enhanced lighting presentation just because this model understands lighting, understands how materials interact, understands how things should behave in the real world.
Fucking lighting. Shut your ass up. And how lighting should behave in the real world. You're really trying to convince us that it's lighting. No, it's not. How lighting should behave in the real world is to make like dusk the afternoon or dawn the afternoon. That's how lighting in the real world behaves, where they just reduce shadows and add brightness to every single scene is supposed to be how light reacts in the real. Shut your ass up. Shut up. That just sound crazy. That's craziness, bro. Like, you guys are, I don't know what NVIDIA paid y'all to act the way y'all acting right now, but I'm like, bro, stop it. Stop it, because that's not how lighting acts in the real world, bro. It don't look like 12 in the afternoon on a fucking dusk day, bro. It doesn't look like it's not raining when it's raining, bro.
Kind of almost better than you could program into a game engine, at least to some degree. That might be a controversial statement, but I think it's definitely true. And it's just an absolutely incredible accomplishment. I cannot wait to see it. And this was running like, it was running at reasonable performance levels. Granted, maybe there were some performance hitches here or there in certain games. We're not sure where that might have been coming from.
Wait, so why didn't y'all show the performance hitches? You'll show one frame drop on any other game, any other time on consoles, or not even PC, just consoles. No matter the console. You guys will show a frame rate drop, one frame rate drop, you got to record it and show it and say, oh, there's a frame rate drop right here. It's pushing the engine. And with this, oh, I've seen a couple of frame rates hitches here. We don't know where that was coming from. What the fuck, nigga? Show the frame rate drop. Shit, show the hitches. Show us what frames. Tell us a number. How come you're not saying nothing? How come they're saying around how much? Oh, we run at a reasonable frame rate. The fuck you mean reasonable frame rate, bro? Like, what that mean? What's a reasonable frame rate to you? 30 frames? Like, what is that? Because if it was 60, you would have said 60. If it was 60 frames per second, they would have said 60. Like, oh, you see this running at 60 frames per second? Oh, man. Or they would even be like around 60. This is how I know it was below 60 frames per second. Because they reasonable? Like, what the fuck you mean reasonable? If it was 60, you would have said it. If it was 120, you would have said it. No, reasonable. What's reasonable to you? It didn't hitches? The fuck you mean hitches? Show the hitches. Like, man, you're supposed to be a channel that does analyzations on shit. And y'all, we've just instead are salesmen for this shit. That's what you are. You're just selling this shit. You're pitching right now.
But in general, like, this was very performant, very real time. Rich had his hand in the controller, was manipulating these scenes. Like, this is real gameplay you're seeing here, where Rich was really manipulating. This was not a canned demo.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really important because we've seen demos in the past that have been potentially transformative. The classic case being the Matrix Awakens, right, where you saw that and you thought, wow, this is the future of games. But fundamentally, it was a demo. It wasn't a game. But this is existing shipping titles running with this technology as like an extra layer on top. And man, I can't wait to see more. But
wait, so y'all was controlling it? Y'all was controlling this camera? Y'all was controlling you had the control in your hand and you were actually playing the game and you didn't go shoot some shit up? Huh? You didn't try to stress it out and record it? I mean, you said you got some gameplay hitches. Y'all cut that out? Why? Maybe y'all save it for another video. Maybe you guys said you guys are making a longer video than this because you guys got a lot more footage. Hopefully you pull out the performance shit. And hopefully you drop the lie that this is fucking lighting only. I hope you drop that lie. But it's like, why aren't you showing? You should be showing stuff. You should be trying to stress it out. See how far it can go. Show us. That's more interesting than you showing us AI fucking slop. It really is. You could have showed us where it's going, how many frames. Guess, you know what I'm saying? If it's below 30, if you found some hiccups, you see some screen tears, guess. You know what I'm saying? Do something, but don't just sit there and sell this product to us.
I think the fact is that we saw plenty already, which is surprising. And there does seem to be developer buy-in on it as well. NVIDIA was saying that Todd Howard personally signed off on this.
Yeah.
This is the way he kind of wanted his game to be seen, was the sort of paraphrased version of that.
Of course he did. His games are trash. Of course he signed off on it. That's why he showed multiple of his games. Because they don't put no work into their games. Oh, you're going to do the work for me? I'll take it. Yeah, of course you would. Of course, Todd Howard don't got a good name. Stop it, bro. Like, man, of course he signed off on it because it's trash. And he going to want y'all to, he don't care if it's selling 5090s or not. He with Microsoft now, he need to make some kind of numbers or he going to be gone too.
Yeah.
It's the way I'd certainly prefer to play Starfield.
I would definitely agree here. But yeah, that question of artistic intent, I think it's going to be one that people are talking about for a long time with this technology. But I certainly can see the improvement in fidelity, if nothing else. The massive improvement in fidelity, especially for games that are more realistic. I'd be very curious to see this interact with a game like Hi-Fi Rush or something.
Right, yeah.
Where like that's a very deliberate style, obviously.
Look at this guy. They're talking about some ray tracing. It's the middle of the night, like they rolling around in a cave. And he got light sources of the same color arriving on him from like 5 different angles. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hitting him in the chest, it's hitting him on the neck, under his neck, left side, right side. Like he got light everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny, bro. Like I'm just looking at this shit like they talk about this lighting. I'm like, bro. Not to mention that he could tell his whole face is fucking AI, fucking masked, makeup, or whatever you want to call it. But I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand why they would lie about it. Just say that like they're using AI technology to add pixels to a picture. And I think NVIDIA don't want them to say that because developers ain't gonna want to hear that. Gamers ain't gonna want to hear it, and developers ain't gonna want to hear that NVIDIA is letting their AI correct their artwork. You know what I mean? I don't see too. I don't know. I don't know what devs are gonna hitch on to this, but it wouldn't make sense for them to actually do it, simply because it's just all bad. It's just not all bad. It just like takes away from your artwork. It's no longer your artwork if you're gonna have AI correct your fucking artwork, your whole game, as if it's like homework or an essay you need to get turned in by Tuesday.
Would this do anything that you'd want in an image like that? Or would it be counterintuitive? Would it be counterproductive to that game's cel-shaded visual style? Would it actually produce an interesting result? Obviously, with Minecraft, that's something you can kind of get away with, but perhaps there are games where it would be less appropriate, and presumably developers would be not enabling it for those titles.
Yeah, plenty of questions still remain, but the impact of this technology, I don't think I've seen a demo quite as astonishing as this.
Man, y'all Krispy Kreme glazing over here, bro. Like just super glazing this shit, bro, and it's not even that impressive. Character models look better because AI went over it. You can make anybody's character model look better if AI goes over it, bro. Like it looks better, but it looks like AI. It doesn't look like a game. And these dudes are sitting here acting like this ain't fake. And it's just like these are the same guys who talked about fake. These are the same guys who push realism. That's why John Lennon ain't said. Now I want to see what he gonna say, because in Resident Evil, when he was talking about the ray tracing in Resident Evil, this is what he said.
Take a look at the guy holding the umbrella right here in this scene. Beneath him, with the ray tracing enabled, you actually get sort of more ambient shading, the shadow from the umbrella above. On PS5, you don't see that, and he just sort of glows unnaturally in the scene.
So John Lindemann is saying that you glow unnaturally in a scene when it's not ray tracing, because they don't got the, you're covered with an umbrella, so it's covering the light, making you darker, making it, making the scene more natural than the scene would be if you're fucking glowing. But then at the same time, these two guys come across and say that it looks way better than anything they've ever seen before in their life, and it's literally illuminating every fucking thing unnaturally. Tell me how it makes sense. Please tell me how it makes sense. It don't. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, it's Digital Foundry lying once again, bro, and contradicting themselves as a company, contradicting themselves on what they believe is right and wrong. HDR fake, bad, fucking, fake resolution bad, but fake frames good, AI rendered lighting good, apparently lighting. They pick and choose on who's ever paying them at the moment. Is basically what I'm getting at. It's what I'm seeing and what I'm looking at. And so they'll lie and tell you that something's fucking lighting when it's clearly not. Even if clearly not. Clearly not. And it is what it is, bro. Keep watching Digital Foundry the way y'all want to watch Digital Foundry. I'm not saying not to watch them. I'm just saying that they be lying. It's Keith Thras Gaming. I'm out.